What is up, guys? JB Striver here, back with another episode, and we have Hyleen Wolf
Hello, everybody.
as another person in the video.
I'm not just another person. I'm
Well,
the person.
yeah, because you're kind of
You
the
might
one that
say,
started
you might say this
this.
entire project is my brainchild, and honestly, I'm so happy it's getting as far along as it is. Like, I was literally about ready to just can the entire thing, just delete the drive, and say, well, this is one of those things that sounded good in theory, but you gotta know when to call your losses and just say, hey, we gave it a good college try, and just yeah, move along and with our lives. And then this crazy guy that has been doing pretty much the remainder of the work. Oh boy, it's an understatement to say he rekindled my interest in pretty much wanting to drive this thing and make it the historical digital recreation that I wanted it to be.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't plan on being famous because of this. I just wanted to do it because it's worth doing. It's like there's only one of these vehicles. Nobody else has really bothered to put it into something modern like BeamNG where the physics actually, matter. And it's
Yeah.
kind of just sitting there in Forza. Like, nobody really knows the provenance about it. There's not really any information about what this truck is, what it means to, like, the the world of off-road tech, and like the whole battle between Toyota and literally everybody else over the years, just trying to beat them out in the desert. And for like 4 or 5 years straight, they won several races just consecutively every year. Like the Nevada 500 was one where this particular truck won repeatedly. Um, it kind of had some teething pains when it first came out in mid '88. They just kind of dropped it in the middle of the Baja 500. They're like, "Hey, we have a new vehicle out." Like, I'm not even kidding. They went from like an inline 4 2.7 liter little 22RE engine, and then they dropped this thing, and it's like, holy crap, it's a V6, and it actually gets up pretty good
Yeah.
and actually has some power, even though it's a bit heavier than most vehicles, but it's not much heavier compared to the other trucks in the field. It's almost about as light as a buggy. It's 4,200 pounds.
Damn.
Right? Like, have you ever heard of a truck being like that and also being successful at what it does? Because I was also looking
No.
into it, and Nissan and other random one-offs tried to do the whole rear independent suspension thing. They were nowhere near as successful as this truck was. Like, this truck was just the proto trophy truck. It was the truck to beat. Everybody was trying to beat this truck. Like, you look back in the history, there's maybe a few races that I have never finished because of one issue or other. Like, sometimes electrical problems would happen, sometimes there might be a transmission that goes out, which just happens.
Yeah.
But for like one solid year in 1990, this truck got all of its problems worked out, and it was a banner year for not only PPI but for Toyota Motorsports. Like, that was an insane year. They didn't repeat that until 1993.
Uh. We got bars.
Yeah, I kind of know way too much about this history, but that's the real truck. Where my interest really started is this silly little game on the Super Nintendo called Super Off Road,
Mmm.
and I guarantee I want some of that game's soundtrack as part of the reveal trailer. Whoever makes videos, I really wish you'd use that music. I will send it to you if you need it. I don't know who's making the trailer yet for it. I don't even know if we're gonna have a trailer. I just know that we're gonna have a crap load of pictures. I'm probably gonna put a Super Off-Road the Baja splash up on there somewhere. Be like, oh hey, yeah, this is totally what that is. It's yep, it's that truck.
I would love to have a big old trailer, but
I don't know who's good at making beam videos. though. That's the problem. I don't know who's good at making game videos, and the last time I did video editing, I was a YouTuber slash content creator, and I haven't done that for at least 5 years now.
Oh, that's the Forza Mesh one. See, I'm just horrible at editing videos, I feel.
I did minor editing. Like I wasn't like amazing at video edits, but they were serviceable, and it didn't
Yeah.
bleed people's eardrums out whenever I put a video up. But yeah, no, this truck has been something of a like I just can't get it out of my head. Like every once in a while, I just keep going down and thinking about it. Like it's just stuck. It's just stuck in my head.
Uh, might as well be.
Right? Like for the better part of practically most of my childhood and probably I didn't really think about it too much when I was a teenager, but yeah, like I guess most of my adult life I've been kind of just obsessed with this truck, and then it came back into my life when I noticed it was in Forza Horizon 4, and I was like, holy crap, I gotta get the game just so I could freaking I need to drive it, and then I need to also change the colors on the truck, and then I had to figure out how to make a livery, and then I started making references and liveries and stuff, and then Forza Horizon 5 came out, and again the truck came back, and I was like, oh, okay, this is an even more robust livery creator. What can I do here? And sure enough, I made like 6 or 7 actual race liveries that the truck used, and even some from the successor's truck 015. Even though at the time I thought they were totally the same truck, but then again, I didn't quite go down the rabbit hole at that point yet.
Yeah. I'm already
But
down the
yeah,
rabbit hole, I
yeah.
feel.
I kind of felt like I went down a rabbit hole just researching this truck because I was like, wait a minute, there was another truck before this? And then that's when I discovered 001, which was, like I mentioned, the 2.7 liter, like solid axle rear end, unlimited single seater that Ivan drove from like 1984 to about like mid 88, so like 4.5 seasons.
Yeah.
And then that's when 010 came out, like I said, in the middle of that year's Baja 500.
Ooh.
Hell, the following year in the mint in the Parker 400 in 1989, it still kind of looked like that, like its first appearance, which is just kind of ugly. But at the same time, apparently the guys from ESPN called it the most radical looking truck on the field, and they compared it to like a Formula One, and I was like, well, that's about right. Yeah, the truck really didn't start looking familiar until about either the Mint 400 that year or it was the Nevada 500. It was one of those Nevada desert races. It finally
Uh,
got the bodywork that we recognize, and it didn't quite have the same cooler. It had this weird looking thing that stuck up a little bit. I'm pretty sure we're not going to be modeling that because that would be a pain in the ass. I'd rather stick to the known appearances and what it looks more familiar to most people.
yeah.
And honestly, I think we've been doing a pretty dang good job. And when I get some time, I was going to clean up some of the work we did because I noticed there's like a couple logos that have like random things that were like kind of made a bad logo selection, and then there's like a bit of random stuff, and then there's some random color and stuff that's on the black and white map for the colorable version.
Yeah.
I got to clean some of that stuff up too, but yeah, I was gonna go and use one of the pre-mades and sort of make a livery myself. I was gonna make the 1989 Baja 500 one where it was number 108, which is I think probably the first significant appearance change of the vehicle, because that's when it had the same cooler it has. It was in the hose was in a different position. It was actually in the center. In fact, you can actually see the cutout where that was
Yeah.
in the shroud for it on the rear end. And now it's off to the side, and I don't know what the reason for that is.
Mm,
I can only speculate, but I'm guessing they probably had better airflow from that side. I
probably.
that would be my guess, and I kind of almost want to say We could make the center hose position like maybe one of the options, but honestly, if it's a pain in the ass, I wouldn't want to push it too much.
Yeah. So we got all the lights.
Yeah,
Sweet.
there's the A-pillar lights are in place. Yeah, we'll work on the bumper lights later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was that silly truck from that Super Nintendo game that I liked. It was also actually no, I don't think. Well, okay, so in artwork, the this truck was featured in Off-Road Challenge, but only in artwork and the box cover alone. For some reason, they have like flames coming out of the side of the exhaust pipes because apparently the nitros come out of the come out of the exhaust. But what's funny
uh,
is that they actually use 015 in that game as in a low poly form, and it totally is 015, I can tell. But they have like 010's wheels on there because like it's like you can totally tell there's the knockoffs on the side, and they're
yeah.
just the ultra type wheels. Yeah, it's a bit of a strange game that Off-Road Challenge is because like it has all of like the mid '90s trophy trucks and stuff, including for whatever reason Rod Hall's he had a Humvee I think at one point.
Huh.
Yeah.
I just love what I named the folder.
What did you end up naming that?
Project Iron Man.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what I have as a folder that's saved in my on my computer too, just in case for whatever things.
Yeah, at some point I want to. I think after. Honestly, it might be after I do the rear suspension. I'm gonna start sending you files.
That would be fantastic.
That way, there's always a backup.
Right. Well, I mean, you could always upload to the OneDrive.
That too.
Yeah. I mean, I did make the project folder for us for that for that reason. And no, anybody who's watching, no, we're not giving out files until it's ready. This is staying strictly within whoever's in this little project that I have brought in. So there's only like what, 9 of us now?
Something like that.
Yeah, so the more playtesters we have, and the more tighter of a circle that I keep it, the better. Just because due to the nature of this project, it's very near and dear to me. Like I just don't want like random people coming in and saying, "Oh, hey, you should do this and you should do that." And it's like, no, I have a very clear vision of what I want to do. This is my pet project. This is my brainchild. Do you want to do something else? Make a parts pack or something for it later on. I'm not
Yeah.
going to say you can't make parts for it, but you know, this setup, the initial setup and configs, hopefully I have all of the liveries that I wish, and we could always just have them made later on.
Yeah. That's where eventually I'd like to make a parts pack. But
Yeah, I
I
was like thinking,
I want the whole damn thing in first.
oh yeah, like this is later on down the line, but I have it pinned in our little group conversation where we get like a modern equivalent tires pack, or like I guess it would be like the modern BF Goodrich and Yokohama tires, so like size 35 KR3s and KRTs.
Yeah.
And I think maybe a
Oh,
couple of
that's right.
Yokohamas like there's a newer Yokohama Geolander tire, and I think I like Black Fox's like it looks like a street version of the project, but I don't know. I might scrap that one. Let's just see what there are for like other different tires. Like maybe a Toyo tire in there somewhere, but we don't really have a livery for that. So I
Yeah.
just kind of wasn't to stick to BF Goodrich and Yokohama because that's what the truck actually had.
Oh, I love beams sometimes. Sometimes.
Oh, I can't get enough of playing Beam. I just love having a tune and then being able to send it and then be like, "Hey, I just made this do that."
I just hate all the getting stuff in beam portion of it.
Right, and then once it's in there, it's like, now we can relax. Now we
Yeah.
can break it.
'Cause
Yeah, I guarantee that we're gonna take like a long break after this is done. Because,
you guys are.
well, I mean, you've got projects. I'm just saying,
Oh
like,
yeah.
as far as this goes, I'd be happy just getting 010 in the game. I don't know if we're gonna do 015. We have the wheels and, well, obviously the tires for it. 015 is kind of a different beast, although we have all of the reference material ever. In fact, when doing all the research for this project, all I kept finding was just 015 stuff. Like, it was just nothing but 015.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, should we just do that one first and then do something else? And then it just turns out that this ended up turning, like, practically 3 not long ago when we actually got a model in somewhere and sorted out. And then we're like, you know what?
Oh.
This model is rough. We're gonna have to do a lot of custom work. And then that's when you messaged me and you're like, hey, I could do something. I'm like, this is kind of a big project. You sure? And then you got all wrapped up in the unicorn stuff, and then I brought on Black Fox to do more of the stuff, and that dude is like literally a wheels entire god, and
Yeah.
probably accounted for at least a good 50% of the work.
Best part is the Huna truck needs remade yet again.
Mm-hmm.
That mod's gonna be the death of me, I swear.
Well, you're young. You could still, you got plenty of years on you.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of stress, just a little bit of hair loss, maybe.
Oh, just a little
I'm
bit.
kidding.
Oh, it is.
Oh yeah, you know what's funny? Well, while we're here, we're looking at the rear tire mount. I literally had no idea what that looked like until we started to find some of old PPI's like spare tire stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think this is what it actually looks like, but this is what they were going with in the era, so you know what? That's what it's got.
Yeah.
Like, and that just became what the spare tire mount looked like, because it was either that or there was another one that I believe, uh, I think they both came off of 001 because there's that project to restore that. That's a real life thing. That's not our thing. And we found a couple of like spare wheel mounts, and I was like, you know what? If I was PPI, I would probably stick this one on the back of it. And so that's kind of what we just went with. It was like a choice of A or B, and I just went with whatever looked the part that would fit back there that made the most sense to me. Well, yeah, so the thought process on this has been, this truck is weird being in Forza because nobody else knows what it is, and the very few people that do know what it is, they're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna all-wheel drive swap it." And I'm just like, "There's no way that this truck will work like that," because I'm like, you could probably just do Bluetooth four-wheel drive if you really wanted to have the game experience, but physically, if you look at how the engine layout is and everything else, how tight everything is crammed in this chassis, I cannot come up with a way to physically send a driveline to the front of the truck to have four-wheel drive. There's just too much going on in this whole setup.
You know what's funny about that too is I originally thought that this was gonna be a four-wheel drive type thing. And then I got looking at it and I'm like, oh, there's no transfer case. It's only gonna be rear wheel drive?
And then that's when you also realize, holy crap, this truck beat everything else running rear-wheel drive with only 300 or 350 horsepower.
Yeah.
They said it was 300, but I think they got closer to 350. Let's be realistic. Those V6s are pretty potent.
Oh
And they did
yeah.
rev it pretty high. Like, if you look at the gauge there's only a no there's only a rev limiter, or there's only a rev limit. There's no actual speedometer in the truck, and it revs all the way up to 11,000 RPM. They
Yeah.
probably redlined it at 9 or 10 just to be safe, but still, like the fact that it could go all the way that high in RPMs. Yeah, they kind of ran it on the ragged edge, but like that's kind of what they had to do when they were facing V8s and V10s. I think Walker Evans came out with his V10 Dodge in around 92 or 93. And then starting in like 94, 95, like every single Dodge trophy truck had V10s.
Yeah. That's what we
And they
should. That's what
yeah, they,
should be a parts pack. Make it a V10.
I know that the V8 technically could work in that. They Toyota actually developed a V8 in mid 97, which is when 015 got that V8. It didn't take up much more space, in fact was slightly more compact than a V6, so like theoretically there's space in the engine bay for a V8. So it'd have to be like an LS, I don't know, like some it'd have to be like a Lexus engine or something,
Yeah.
because that's what they used. It was like a takeout engine from like I don't know if they did a junker engine and turned that into a race engine or something, but yeah, they just for 015 they just basically took the V8 and they were like, all right, well now it has a V8. Just linked up the not the transfer case, but the transmission to that, and then had that linkage to its differential, and basically that was it. They just stuck a V8 in there, and then the truck went from going about 115, 120 miles an hour to well over 140.
Hmm.
Doesn't sound like a big difference, but when you could get there a lot quicker, that makes a world of difference.
Yeah.
Like, in fact, I think that year's Baja 500 with that brand new V8, Ivan beat second place out in with like 37 minutes to spare.
Jesus.
Happy birthday to Stewart.
Uh-huh.
Because, yeah, pretty much the Baja 500 every year was on his birthday.
Mm.
Speaking of which, there's another personal connection I have to this project. So, if you don't know, Ivan Stewart is obviously the star driver of the the Toyota trucks. Pretty much was the sole driver for pretty much like since like 1985 onwards. Because they had two trucks at one point, and then they're like, you know what, we're just gonna go ahead and cancel this truck. It's gonna get sold off to somebody. I have no idea where 002 is. It's got to be somewhere, or maybe in their heritage museum.
Could be.
I I didn't care enough about that chassis to really keep track of it. It's somewhere. Somebody owns it. That's as much as I know. But after that, Ivan was solo on his driving career. The only other teammates he had was in the stadium circuit race, which was the Mickey Thompson stuff.
Yeah.
That's the only other time he had like, a driving partner, but otherwise all of the desert races he raced solo.
Hmm.
And I realized I tangented it a little bit. But anyways, what I was trying to get at was that the reason why this project is so personal to me is that I share a birthday with Ivan Stewart, June 4th.
Ah, we got another June birthday in the house.
Mm-hmm. So
Mine's the
like,
last day of the month.
nice. June babies are cool people. But yeah, so like this has several layers of personal significance to me because it's like my favorite like my favorite childhood poster truck of all time, like my favorite driver of all time, and the greatest freaking success story of all time in desert racing. And sure, you could drive around as an oval for like 250 laps, or you could beat the desert by
Yeah.
yourself with no GPS and no other way to navigate other than sight reading and reading course markers and trying to watch out for traps. Like if that's not a great success story to go by, then I don't know what is.
Very well is.
So yeah, this whole project means a lot to me, and I'm just really upset that I couldn't do any of this really hard modeling work and stuff myself, just because I know I lack the talent, and I'm just like, I really have this great idea for a mod project, and I swear it's totally worth it because not only are we recreating history, but you know, there's never been another vehicle of its kind except for its successor. But like, it's still, this is a pretty unique truck on its own.
Yeah.
Like 015 is really cool and unique too, but like I don't think it was as successful as this truck. Like the 93 Baja 1000 win, Ivan was well over an hour ahead of second place and beat all of the motorcycles to finish. That's never been done before.
That's just nuts.
Right? Like what a way for this truck to like retire. That's like greatest retirement party ever.
Yeah.
Not only beating everybody else in the entire field, having no problems, no flats, a solid run for like 15, 12 or 15 hours, whatever it was. And then to learn that he also beat the freaking 2, 3, and 4-wheeled motorcycles on top of that, that still just blows my mind. It's like it's been 33 years, and that whole scenario just still is just like, wow, that definitely happened. And a lot of people may not know, but I've been in contact with like regular contact with at least 2 former PPI members the entire time. I had a shot in the dark outreach to Tommy Morris, who was pretty much the head of special projects at Toyota at PPI when he was there. Basically, lead mechanic and lead guy for both this truck and probably like crew chiefed a bunch of the other stuff, and was like, he's always there on the radio. Like if you watch old race footage, Tommy Morris shows up a couple of times,
Yeah.
but like for the most part, like he was the guy that made everything happen. Like if there was a problem with the thing, then it was him getting in there, taking it apart, and consulting some of the mechanics, going, "All right, we need to fix this or whatever." But like being able to talk to him and pick his brain has been a kind of a privilege on his own, just short of like more of some of the other team members, like Kyle Wells himself, although he's not really much of a mechanic. But you know, like the one guy that I really could have leaned on for any of the information that I really needed, he's always been there. Like every time I just chat with Tommy, I just go like, you know, it's such a treat because he was there. He'd done it. He watched all of these vehicles and all of these races like just happen. Can't
It,
get much better of a source of information than that.
it would actually be interesting um to see if he has a PC after this does get done.
I have been sending
To
him images and stuff that we've been like having our whips and stuff, and every time he just says, "Wow, this is looking really good." Like wow, you guys are doing a bang up job.
it'd be interesting to see if he had BeamNG though.
I don't I don't know if he's like technologically inclined
Or
because he's kind of an old school guy. But then again, I mean,
yeah.
he might. I don't know if he'd just open up a video game or anything just to mess around in this thing. But like that would be cool if like he got around to messing around with the truck and then was like, well, you guys really nailed it. This kind of brings back some memories.
Cause then too he can even help with some of the tuning aspect of it.
I'm not sure that would be possible. I don't think he
Well,
I don't think he would be able to like.
he would be able to tell us like the rear shocks are too stiff
True, but I mean like
or just cool different stuff like that.
I've been trying to ask him about like shock stuff, but like little stuff like that is probably beyond like the scope of what he remembers. Because just think, it's been like it's been so long since he had to think about any of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So like, you kind of easy come, easy go, really. Like, believe me, I've tried to pick his brain on this stuff, and he's just like, it's been really long, and it's like I'm trying to think back 30 years plus and stuff, and it's like, well, if you can remember anything, let me know.
Yeah.
But he's been giving his thumbs up every time I send him images of the model, and he's like, yeah, that's basically how that went. So like, at least having his approval on the project is really nice. Another fellow that recently did the FJ Bruiser project at Toyota, he provided a crap load of reference images for the front end, and I can't ever release those to the public because those were meant to be just project images, just be shared between us only. Because I'm not even sure he was allowed to do that. If I may be honest, like we're just some bunch of kids trying to find out about this trophy truck that ended up, who knows where, and we're just some enthusiasts trying to digitally recreate it.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah, I've added.
Like, I don't want any money for this. I don't want to. I don't ever want to have anybody pay for it either. Because
No.
honestly, this is just a piece of history. Stuff like this should not be paid for. Because the
Alright.
best things in life, especially from history, should just be like practically like
Oof.
as museum pieces and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, sure, the truck doesn't race anymore, but we're kind of more or less giving it new life in BeamNG.
Well, that's gonna be fun. Because I'm used to data, and it has. Oh no, it's still got the same thing. So what's different here? I'm gonna have to look back at this damn video. Okay, so nothing up top. Ah. So just vertex shapes. Well, I'm not gonna show them getting in anymore. I was, but that's gonna be a different video now. Yeah, I've
Sure, what I was looking at there, the highlighted part. I was just talking mostly about the truck.
yeah, you're talking about the truck. I'm actually getting a few of the different things in game. Mainly a lot of the 1,000 meshes.
Oh, right, yeah, I
Yeah.
completely forgot that there's all the little detail things that need to be in it as part of like, I guess that would be the sub chassis, or
Um,
like,
I'm just putting it in the frame flex body portion of it.
yeah, true. It's not like the structural member of it, but like,
Yeah.
there's just extra bits and like in case the truck rolled over or anything. And I don't think I ever recall hearing about this thing rolling over. I think it was just so well balanced and wide that I don't think that Ivan ever rolled it.
Oh.
I know in Super Off Road you could hit a rock and roll the truck or a log. I'm sure on the right
Alright.
map with the right conditions we might be able to roll this thing and probably just destroy it.
Oh, probably.
Oh, I'm definitely going to be doing crash testing with it too.
Uh, I feel like all of us are.
Oh yeah.
Because I want this thing just about perfect, and yeah.
And that is why I hired. Well, I say I hired you, but like that's why I was like, all right, you're basically you're in.
Yeah,
Your attention to
after
detail is what stuck with me.
yeah, it's it's like a gambling problem.
It's like you see little things and like, what's this thing? What's that? What does this do? And then suddenly you're like, oh well, now we have a whole ass trophy truck.
Well, that's why the Huna truck has taken what 5+ years now.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Huna
I entirely blame
trucks.
myself for taking you away from that to work on this.
Eh, it gives me a bit of a mentality break, to say the least. Cause that thing alone, so I can show you here in a minute. The frame is 4 different pieces, and I want to keep it to the original spec of what Ken Block had it as. Well, there's one problem when you try and get something perfect in Beam. It never turns out perfect.
Right. We might run into hiccups here and there,
Oh,
and I'm
I
totally prepared
I
for that.
I already know we will.
Because for some reason, if the torsion bars thing doesn't work out, we could always just say there's just like invisible springs maybe attached uh to the torsion bars, or well, because technically without the springiness of the torsion bar, it basically just acts as like an A arm essentially.
Yeah.
Like A arms before they were attached with coilovers and stuff. In fact, I believe right when they were developing this truck, they were also developing coilover shocks for the MTEG stuff. That's Mickey Thompson. And
Hmm.
before that, they hadn't been done before. It was mostly just either torsion bars or just straight up shocks. Which, if you look at 001's shock setup, it's like two pairs of shocks on like a rocker bar weird thingy for the rear end. And in the front, they have got two pairs of crisscrossing shocks for the front suspension, and it's a bit of a simplistic design. And then you also realize, yeah, there's also torsion bars in that design too. And then they sort of like went and did that, and then the next series of stadium trucks, they're like, well, we're just gonna come up with something lighter, stronger, and a lot better with better control. And sure enough, that's like how they ended up dominating MTEG for like 13 of the 14 years it was on. Or
Yeah.
is it like maybe 11 or 12 years or something? I don't know how long the MTEG went. I think that started in 82 and ended in 94 or 5. I want to say 94 was the last time that they had the Mickey Thompson stuff.
Hmm.
I am not 100% on that because again, I was really paying attention to the desert truck stuff that PPI was doing. Yeah. I kind of tend to gloss over stuff that wasn't really relevant to our project.
Well, that's gonna be fun. Getting all the hoses and whatnot in. I may have to remake them.
Yeah, I know somebody's gonna be like, "Hey, what's up with the hoses here? They didn't model those correctly. It's just air suspension." I know somebody's gonna complain about that. I thought Black Fox did all the hoses though.
He did. He redid all of them and whatnot, but he did it as a um different mesh or different data thing than what I am used to.
Okay.
So that's just going to be figuring that out. In worst case, I have to redo all of them again, but I will very easily and quickly be able to do that. So,
All right, we're not trying to break anybody's computer with like overly detailed stuff. We just like any more than something like the Dune kicker or whatever else comes out.
it's funny you say that too, because looked at the st- stutter much statistics, and it's at 287,000. And this too is why I'm not too worried of model wise, is the Huna truck, which, welcome back to the Huna truck, by the way. There has been suspension done to it. That will be in a later video. The Huna truck is at 436,000 verts.
Oh wow. So in other words,
Yeah.
we're not even like we're just a little bit over half of that, let's say. Let's call it maybe
Yeah.
60% of that.
And I want to. I've been slowly doing it. But, oh, actually, it doesn't even matter that I show you guys, because this ain't the right one. So, I'll just show it in the video, because why not? So, I have gotten it down to 224,000 birds. And that's because I removed a few things, retweaked a few things, like the whole front suspension is to a certain point accurate. Like, I love watching the same video 12 times for one thing. Yeah, a lot of work.
Yeah, I keep watching the same Toyota videos over and over again. Videos where Ivan's truck competed in. I'm just like, one of these days. Like I can, it sounds, it's kind of funny. This is the slogan that the Super Nintendo game. It's like the box says it's so real you could taste the dirt. And I'm like, I could almost taste this thing. Not
which,
not that I would know what this thing would taste like or anything, but yeah.
which after, cause I figure end the video here soon anyways.
Enjoy it is throwing it around in deserts in a game that actually can take advantage of all the suspension.
Yeah.
Because I mean, why wouldn't it be put into a game like Beam? Like it's not doing anything in Forza. Hell, in the sixth game, I've like I was looking through the car list and someone was like, "Hey, yeah, your favorite truck is in Forza 6," and I'm like, "What is it doing in Japan? What off-road like desert racing scene or any off-road at all happens in Japan? Like, please tell me." And I have not been getting I have not found an answer yet.
All right.
Like I've Yeah. All right, so let's go closing thoughts then.
Oh, um, this is the latest on it. I've put the back tire and whatnot. Oh, it is in.
Hey, we got a spare.
Sweet. Yeah, it's
Oh, that's the transmission.
for right now. It's not J beamed, but I wanna J beam that.
It's getting there.
Get it
We got shocks.
the simplified J beam. The
Yeah,
shock.
we got shocks in there.
Reservoir, whatever they're called.
Yeah, shock reservoirs exactly.
Yeah,
I have
reservoirs.
not been able to get actual figures on what those should be. I kind of want to say that if I did find something, it was like 250 psi. So like, if they're 200 to 250 psi per shock, we're probably looking at a potential of like 600 to like 750 per corner on the rear, and like 400 to 450 per corner on the front, or 400 to 500 per corner on the front.
Yeah.
But like they're going to be tuned basically together because you wouldn't have one side imbalanced, but they're all going to be the same tuning. But that's going to be interesting when we figure out PSI versus, I guess, is it PSI, or percentage of how much valving is available to do.
Yeah.
I guess it would work on the valving percentage rules then.
You know what I think's gonna be interesting? Let me drop it right here.
Because like we're basically trying to reverse engineer something that has not been touched upon or done, or like something that just hasn't been seen or anything in racing for a long time.
I think
Truck's trying to do a push-up.
it's obviously gonna be fixed, but the
Yeah, that's not meant to
front
go up that high.
well, it's lower to the ground too much.
Yeah, like it should sit normally about there, or maybe just a little bit high.
That's kind of what I was figuring. Is I'm
Yeah,
gonna
like
make like maybe actually maybe like right there be the lowest point or so,
yeah,
and
that's
then
that seems good because when it goes
about
slack,
there the highest.
well, I mean, then again, we also have tires that are like 2 inches too tall and wheels that are 2 inches too big. So
Yeah, we've got some work.
yeah, it's getting there though. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it might be spongy now, but it's getting worked in.
And I know people say, "Oh no, no textures." Yeah,
This
that.
is a work in progress at the moment.
Truthfully, that's why I haven't even thought about textures.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I know my PC can handle 4K textures. The 4K texture version of this, I'm actually going to keep for myself, and at some point maybe tone it down to 2 texture, but the public version I want to make 1K.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's entirely fair. Like, I think the release version is going to be a 1K setup.
Yeah.
Like, my computer's beefy. I'm pretty sure I can handle 4K stuff.
I should
But that would just be the dev build, I guess.
yeah. I should give you the public release for the Huna truck. That's 4K right now. I'm surprised people haven't been saying they've been having FPS problems.
Oh, that's a clever use of the bed panel, so it uses a sort of a jack stand there.
Yeah. I love it too. They're already like pre-connected to the cab side.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Yeah,
like,
technically they would be connected on the front end because the rear supports technically don't exist.
yeah. Which all best part is all this J-beam is, besides the front suspension and the frame, is just the race truck J-beam.
Mm-hmm.
And I've made the hood breakable, rooftop breakable.
Yeah, in the event of a rollover, I'm sure that'll fly right off, along with the transcooler.
Mm-hmm. Like, they're not, the body panels aren't connected to one another yet. Because that is
Right.
actually something I wanted to talk to you about, but, you know, that's down the road. I'm not
I mean,
even remotely worried about it right now.
technically, they aren't. They're connected to hardpoints on the truck, but they're not connected to each other, really.
Mm.
Like, Black Fox and I were talking about a connection in the front of the of the side panels that were connected to the hood,
Mm.
but like that, it looks like there was kind of just some stuff they stuck on the inner side of the door panels that like sort of just kind of like a little bracket that connected into the bottoms, like the wheel side of the hood panel
Yeah.
that connected to that nearest point, but we never really figured out anything other than maybe there's just like a bracket with like a couple of release mounts underneath, because there is, if you look at one of our reference pictures, like there's a line of like quick release fasteners that you can see going across the wheel wells,
Yeah.
especially the black line part of the hood section there. It just looks like that all connects to it. Like you can just see that line and follow it with your eyes, like, oh, there's totally some fasteners that are just connected there to keep the hood down on that one side, because there's three fasteners in the front where I showed you in DMs where that silver hoop was.
Yeah.
That's where the hood connects to in the front, and then there's two fasteners in the back where I also showed that to you in DMs. But then on the side, it does technically connect to the door panel, but it also doesn't really need to. So, like, do we do that or do we not? Like,
I'm figuring we do.
it's just like a little quarter moon shaped little bent piece of metal that, or bent piece of something or whatever, that just kind of sticks to it. And that's the only thing, because there's nothing really keeping the hood onto the body other than the five mounts on the front end there.
Yeah.
The door panel's held on by two sets of hard points, which is in front of the cab and behind the cockpit. The the rear bedside mounts are also mounted on the rear cab pieces, and then that also gets connected in the back alongside the fuel tank.
Yeah.
So there's at least two hard connections for the rear and the middle, but not the the piece. And that it's just like a little slightly angled piece of something there. There's something there, but I just don't know what it is. We never really figured that out.
Uh,
Like, there's definitely something going on. Like, you could probably stick a piece of something in the inside of that panel and serve as like a sort of soft point for it.
yeah.
How sturdy that would be, I couldn't tell you. It's honestly, as we continue with this project, we're just speculating about every other thing that, because like right when it gets down to it, we know where everything is. We know what everything does. We just don't know some stuff. Like some stuff is just a total mystery to us.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as we keep going towards release, we are going to test the absolute shit out of this thing. It will be beaten to all hell. It will be revved into its absolute breaking point to see how high we could get it before it just destroys itself out of just revving. And I'm going to be sending it through the roughest, dirtiest, wettest, and well, maybe the flat sections won't do so much, but I'm going to send it through the roughest section of desert terrain I can find, and get this thing all tuned up. And I will absolutely dial this thing to perfection for release, because I don't want somebody to drive it and then immediately bottom out on the first rut that they see.
Yeah.
Like, this thing will be place tested to all hell. Like, or I'm gonna just run it through every single desert map I could find and get my hands on that doesn't like suck. But yeah, this thing will be tested just like it was in real life. Hell, practically Johnson Valley could just be Barstow,
Yeah.
which is where they did a lot of their testing on vehicles, especially 0 and 0 and 0 and 5.
Oh.
I'm not gonna say that we have a release date, but sometime this year, if this continues as well it has been, because there's honestly not much left to do on as far as the model part goes. The
Yeah.
pain in the ass is going to be figuring out how the suspension works and stuff, and I feel like we've got a good idea of how everything works.
Yeah.
We just have to bring it to life.
That's gonna be the fun part.
hmm I mean, it's mostly all the way there. Like honestly, the things that aren't really finished as far as the modeling goes. There's like like a couple of bits in the front end. There's the cockpit front and rear mounts, which, like I said, are mounted up to the body panels. The rear mounts exist, just not the front ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, this is going to be definitely an interesting vehicle for anybody to drive because every time you see a trophy truck, it's always a wide body two-seater. You never see something this small being a one-seater and it's still a truck. Well,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of a truck, but really the way how like looking at this chassis, that looks really more like a buggy.
Yeah.
Like it's set up basically like a reverse buggy where the engine's a mid-engine, but like the transmission is going out the back instead of the engine being at the far end. Like they were definitely thinking of they were definitely doing something different when they came up with this thing.
Oh yeah.
And that's why this thing fascinates me so much. And that's why I was just like, all right, I got to get this thing into beam. I don't know how. I'm just going to do it.
Well, and with that, I will definitely bring you along more. Figure record with you some.
Yeah, thanks for
And
having me on.
oh yeah. And that will do it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.